Hello my crafty friends, welcome back to Cardz TV. I'm so glad you're here today because I have a new card fold for you. I love the way this little card turned out. This is called a pop-out Z-fold, and let me show you how it works. Now on the front we've got our little circle here and our daisies, and we open it up and here's the Z-fold. Don't you love that? And it's so quick and easy. In fact, I made this one using my Cricut expression. The only thing that I didn't use my Cricut for was this mat right here, and then these two mats. And I probably could have cut those with my Cricut expression as well. But if you don't have a Cricut expression or a Cricut Explorer or a Maker, I'm going to show you how to make this one using dies and a Big Shot. Now to make the base for this card as well as this inside piece for the Z-fold, I used, the Wild Card cartridge, and I used the card on page, let me see if I can see that, page 69. I cut this one out right here at 5.5 inches. Then for the front, I also cut this, which is called the liner, and that's the green part, the green and white. I cut it at 5.5 inches. Now for this inside Z-fold, this part right here is cut separately, and I came over to blackout, and I cut that piece at 5 inches. And when I show you how to put this all together, you'll understand why this one is cut smaller than this one. For the daisies, of course, I used Walk in My Garden. Let me find that. Here we go. I cut the daisies, the large one at 1.5 inches, and these two small ones I cut at 1 inch, and that's just some white cardstock. And for the center, I just cut this out of that yellow. And I cut 2 for each one and then just put them together. I think they turned out so sweet. I love those little daisies on there. Okay, now for my scalloped border here on the front and on the inside, I used Just Because Cardz, and that is on page 42, and I cut this right here. Now for this front piece, I cut this at 4 inches, and I think I cut the inside, let's see, because it doesn't go, it has to stop right there at the fold. This was either 4 inches or 3 3/4. I think it was 4, and then I just trimmed it right there like that. Now when you cut out this card base, it's going to cut your little circle, and you're going to hang on to that. And you'll see what I mean when we start putting this card together. Now for the scalloped circle on the front and the one on the inside, and I put this on the inside because you could see the back of this one a little bit, and this is double-sided paper, so you could see a little bit of blue through there, and I didn't want that, so I went ahead and put a scallop circle there as well. And you know, I used elegant edges for that because you guys know me so well. You know I love elegant edges. Now, this is the one I used. You hit Shift and Frame. This is on page 23, and I cut this at 3 inches for the one on the front, which matches the little border, as well as this one on the inside, which matches the mat behind this little Z-fold panel. And I used a thank you stamp on this little circle with some little green flourishes, and then on the inside, I use Thoughts of You. I always put a smile on my face, and then I'm going to put an additional message for my thank you card. But this came from that Stampendous set I've been using called Friendly Phrases, and you can get that over at Amazon. For the card base for the pop-out Z-fold card using dies, I've got a piece of black cardstock, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4, just like we normally do. And then for the inside Z-fold, I have a piece that's 8 inches by 5 1/4 inches, And I'm going to score that at 4 and at 6. And we'll go ahead and get that folded. And then this one's going to fold back. This is going to make our Z-fold. Now I've gone ahead and folded my card base at the 4 1/4 inch score line. I'm going to open it back up, and I've cut this really cute paper with lots of little flowers on it at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to glue this to the front, but because I'm going to cut a circle in it with this die, and this is about a 2 1/2 inch die, I'm not going to put any glue in the center. I'm just going to put it around the edges and then right down here. Now I got my circles cut out. So you can see I've got a black circle and a flowered circle. But because I want to stamp on this, I went ahead and cut another circle out of white. Whereas on this other card, I used 2 white card bases. So I just hung on to that white circle. But I want to be able to stamp on this, and I want to be able to see it. Now, I don't really have a scallop die that will cut the middle out. So I went ahead and cut these two together. This is the 2 1/2 inch, and then I have this scalloped die, but it will cut a solid scallop. So by putting the two together, I was able to cut this out. It's a very lacy looking little scalloped circle, which will go right around there like that. Now I went ahead and stamped Happy Birthday on the inside of my Z-fold panel, and I got it a little bit crooked, but I think it's okay. Now for the panels that are going here and here, I cut a black mat, which is 1 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then I put this yellow and white gingham on here, and this is 1 3/4 by 5. Okay, we're going to put the glue on here and get this attached to the inside of our card, and then we only have one last thing to do, and that's put our little circle on. And we're going to line this up just like that, and make sure we press it down really well. Now we're ready to add our circle that we cut out for the front, and I've gone ahead and stamped it. This was a close to my heart stamp set of the month not too long ago, and I love this sentiment, be your own kind of beautiful. We are going to attach just this side to this part of the Z-fold. So I'm going to very carefully put some glue in here, because this glue can have a tendency to squish out. So I'm very careful. Don't want to put too much, but just enough. And we're going to line this circle up. Make sure we get that straight. Give it a good press. Now when we open it up, you can see I added another one of those scalloped circles, and the Happy Birthday's gone. I couldn't stand the fact that it was crooked, so I cut another piece of white cardstock, 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I covered that up. So now, when I get ready to send this out, I'll just stamp something else on the inside and make sure I get it straight this time, right? But don't you love this new fold? I really do. Y'all leave me a comment down below and tell me which one you like best, the Cricut version or the kind I made with the dies. They're both quick and easy, and I know you'll have fun making either one. It just depends on if you have a Cricut or if you have dies and a Big Shot. So there we go, guys. Thank you all so very much for coming by today. I love you all. God bless you all. And I will see you again soon with another card. Bye now.